Hi, it's Sarah from Bone Boot Camp again. I'd like to share with you a resistance band routine that is safe for osteoporosis. So we're going to start with a long resistance band. It's the only thing you'll need today. And we're going to start with rhomboid push-ups. So I've shown this before. Today the way I want to show it is I'm going to put it almost like a shawl around my shoulder blades. I'm going to have some tension on it as I straighten out my arms, and my palms are going to face you. All I want to do is think about pressing my palms towards the camera, towards you, feeling my shoulder blades really filling the strap, and then I'm going to allow my shoulder blades to come together, particularly at the bottom, and I can feel the strap sort of shrinking back. There's less tension on it. And then I push, and my shoulder blades wrap around me and get wide, and I can feel the strap being stretched. And then I let go. I let some ease happen. My rhomboids are pulling my shoulder blades back at the bottom, and then push forward again. So the strap just gives me that feedback where I can really feel what's going on. And I go back and forth, and you can see it from the side. Reaching forward, the strap is tight, just like my shoulder blades wrapping around the side of my body. And then the strap retracts because my straight arms were coming back. And they were coming back because my shoulder blades moved. And I'm trying not to get all up in my neck. Really, the bottom of my shoulder blades are doing the pinching. So that's the beginning of your warm-up, and then the next part is an up and over routine. And up and over really means just that. And you're holding your strap loose enough that you don't have to bend your elbows. Now I just got a little bit closer, and now I'm pulling a little more tension on the strap, but it's still really great. Actually feels pretty good to be doing it this way. So I'm trying not to lift my rib cage or move my neck to make this happen. I'll show you from the side that if I were to lift my rib cage, now that is my spine doing the movement for me. What I really want to do is keep my ribs in my body and just move like that. And the wider your arms go, the easier it is to get the strap over your head. So the last thing that we're going to do is a little, what I call a cactus rotation. And for some of you, that may mean we're going to put our arms in a cactus position. For some of you, that probably means that the strap is right at your forehead. Not a big deal. It could be that your elbows are lower, so your strap is down here. Either way, you're going to rotate, leaving your elbows where they are, and then coming back up again. So I could try any height I want. I'm just looking to see what's the rotation downward and upward that I have. And if I go lower, I can get further. So it's just a little play, a little warm-up. Just getting some work going in those arms, because we're going to do our bicep curls. So I'm going to try to get some evenness going on here. I'm going to put my strap on the ground, standing on it, and I'm going to grip, and so my thumbs are out. And I'm going to give myself a little squat just because it helps me keep my spine in neutral so that I'm not trying to pull things around. If I send my bum back a little, my knees don't go anywhere, they just bend a little. Sometimes from this position, I find it much easier to keep my spine in neutral. So that's just my little trick. And I'm going all the way up and all the way down. And that's a little too easy. So I'm going to tighten up a little. And I want to do 8 of these. 1, 2, and my exhale is here. 3, 4, keeping my elbows by my side. Releasing slowly because I'm still working those muscles as I go down, and I have 2 more. And last one. Great. And now I'm going to turn to the side for my triceps. So I'm going to do one arm at a time. Same little baby squat. I'm going to change the grip right here, and let's see if I have the strength for this. And I do. So my elbow is pinned to my side and I'm extending behind me. 3, 4, keeping my belly in, keeping my ribs in, head down, and 8. And then I'll switch sides. Sometimes I'll put my hand to my hips so that I don't get all manner of things going on. Oops, sorry. And elbow pinned to my side and kicking back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ribs in my body, neck relaxed, head looking down. Exhale. And exhale, not wanting to twist in my hips or my shoulders. And coming back up. So that was pretty cool. The next thing we're going to do is a lat pull. It's pretty simple when we do it this way. There are great ways to do it where you thread this through a door or a stairwell, something that's not going to open. So I guess what I really mean is the hinge on the door. But we're going to do it right here. It's totally simple. You don't have to have a huge setup for it. I'm going to grab down so that I've got some tension, because all that I'm going to do, my thumbs are facing forward, I'm just going to pull back. Now my idea here is I want to keep my body in neutral, and I can progressively ask myself, how far can I go? But I don't want to lift my ribs to make this happen. So I'll show you from the side. I don't want that to happen. My low back was getting crunched there. So exhale and exhale and exhale. Think about your neck. Exhale. So many things can go sideways when we're trying to do stuff like that. So the next one is a lunge with a press up. So I'm going to keep my foot on one side. So I'm in a little bit of a lunge, and you can have your toe up if you want, or you can have your foot down. I like a little angle if I'm going to have my foot down so that my hips don't get all twisted. And I'm just going to hold the strap here, that rack position, as if I had a bar that I was going to lift. And with an exhale, and I want to make sure I've got a little tuck in my tail, which really isn't a tuck, it's just keeping me in neutral, and I press up. 1, 2. Notice I'm coming down with control. 4. I don't want, I'll show you the bad, that to happen. So if you have to punch out more in front of you, that's fine. I'm trying to punch up straight, but not let my ribs start going out of my body, not let my low back get involved. We have another side lunge to do. So now it's going to be my right leg, but we're going to change what we do, and we're going to do waders doing this. So I've done it before where I'm just facing forward and my legs are in the same place. I'm going to do it this time with a little bit of a lunge, just for something different, and I'm going to lift my back toe. So that's just for a little bit of a balance, and I'm actually going to cross the strap so I can get a little more tension, and that's up to you, but the cross strap really helps when you're trying to go out to the side. So I've created a fair amount of tension here because I think today this is what I want to do. I want to really enjoy feeling some muscular action, but it's up to you. Pick your resistance. So 1, now again, those silly ribs, I want to keep them in my body. 2, this is my arm rotating in the socket. Not so much about my shoulder blades. I'm not trying to pinch my shoulder blades. I'm trying to feel my arm rotating in the socket, and then maybe a little shoulder blade pinching at the end. But the beginning, I really want to feel like it's all arm. Yeah. So here it's arm, 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 and now I feel my shoulder blades. And 1 more. That's awesome. So we're going to come down onto our hands and knees for a little bit more, and we'll always go down safely for osteoporosis. A great way to do that is to use your hip hinge and your squat, and some of us can get ourselves down this way. Others of us, it's good if you take a step back and then bring your hands down. And if you need to use a wall for support, that's another great idea. So what I'm going to do with this strap, I've got the whole wad of it out to the side, and I'm securing it with my right hand, and the strap is going to be in my left hand. So what I want to do for starters is I'm just going to pull straight out to the side. So there's some deltoid action, some shoulder action, and again, it's the same thing. That's 4. I want to come down slowly. I don't want to let the band snap me back. I also want to keep my body facing the same direction, so I don't want to twist. And I don't want my hips to twist. And that's 8. Then, just for more fun, I'm going to change my grip, and we're going to go out to a Y. So there we go. I was much tighter, and that I could already tell that wasn't going to work that well. This one is really easy to get kind of jacked up in your neck. So as you can see, if I go any further, my ribs are going to move. Everything's going to get kind of cockeyed. So right now for me, this is not one of my stronger suits. Tall in my right shoulder. I'm not sinking into it. And I used an exhale for each bit of that exertion. Just resting my wrists for a second. I'm going to turn the other direction so you can see me. So now my left hand will hold this down, and we're going to go again straight out to the side, and you can see it from this side. There is a little bit of turning in my shoulder, but not that much. Certainly no turning in my rib cage. Trying to reduce the tension in my neck so I'm not going to yank to the point where my neck really feels off. And I really got my hips fixed in place. And now I'll change, and I'm going to do my Y, so a little less tension, and I go up. Really, I need the exhale here. I have less control when I'm trying to do this one. My ribs want to get involved. My neck wants to get involved. But it's worth it to do it to the degree that I can, so that I can build strength in places where I don't have it. The next thing I want you to do is take a little break to tie a knot so you have a loop at the end of your strap. So I'm going to secure my knot. I want to get my foot in here. Sometimes it's kind of hard to get it the way you want it. So we're going to do a little kickback. I'm going to show you So my foot goes in the strap, and I'm actually going to hold it at an angle. And one of the reasons I like to hold it at this diagonal is there's more freedom. I'm not going to catch on my knee. And there are these muscular and fascial slings in your body that go on a diagonal and help you actually stay stabilized. So this is really cool. So I'm on my hands and knees. My shoulders are over my wrists. My hips are over my knees. I'm securing the strap. And the first thing I'm going to do is just kick straight back. And if this isn't enough tension, that was 2 and it's not quite enough tension, I'm going to pull it a little more taut. Yeah, that's better. 3, 4, and really have to watch that you don't sink down. 5, 6, feel the back of your leg. 7, and your bottom. 8. And maybe 10 would have been better there. I didn't feel an awful lot. I'm going to straighten back out. This one, again, big thing with making sure we don't move our low back. So the amount of hip extension we have, and that's what's going on when I lift my leg. My hamstring is what's doing it. I don't want to open up. I don't want to sink. It's really not that easy. So as I lift on this diagonal, think of the opposite diagonal of this blue strap. Going from my left hand to my right knee. That's what I want to stabilize with as I make this hamstring exercise, hip extension exercise help me. And I'll tell you what, my opposite butt cheek is really alive, and it's quite a bonus, and that's from the stabilizing. So I'm going to switch sides. Now I've got my right foot in and my left hand is holding it, making sure I'm aligned, and I'm going to kick out and come back. I immediately notice that my hips wanted to veer to the left side. I'm kicking with my right leg. So I'm going to imagine an X of my muscles on the inside of my body going from my right shoulder to my left hip while I kick my right leg out. And if I tighten that up, it really helps stabilize me. Awesome. So now we extend that leg again. So the leg is extended. You'll notice both times I'm doing this on both sides, I'm doing it with a flexed foot. And I'm doing that in part because I can feel my hamstring, the back of my leg, so much more when I keep that foot flexed. And in. Wow, that was great. Okay, I'm not even going to take the time to undo that because we've got one last thing to do, and that's squats. This can be really fantastic when you're doing squats to have a resistance band. If you have more than one, maybe a tighter band would be even better. But I can always grip down nice and low. So my squat, got to show you from the side always with a squat. I'm going from standing, sending my bum back, bending my knees, and now with my hands right here, I'm coming back up. So this is that driving up, really using my glutes. And pushing up, heel to bottom, heel to bottom, heel to bottom. And there are other ways to do this, and I can show them to you in another workout, but this is a great rear end waker upper. And one last one. And you are done. Just take a moment to be grateful with me for the body that does this work for us the heart rate that you've got going on. Just going to take a breath and exhale. And I'll just do a little 4-count breathing. Inhaling for 4. I'll do it as a square breath, so I'll hold for 4. And I'll exhale for 4. And I'll hold for 4. And then we'll inhale for 4. And hold for 4. And exhale for 4. And that last hold was sort of my pause and my thank you. And check me out on Bone Boot Camp because I've got a lot more videos coming.